So the Minnesota Wild made a big move today as Bill Guerin made a trade earlier this week, trading Jason Zucker, and now head coach Bruce Boudreau has been let go by the Minnesota Wild. We're going to talk about that, his recent history in the NHL, and will he find another job? Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and a subscribe down below, and let's talk about Bruce Boudreau being fired by the Minnesota Wild. This is Bruce Boudreau's third stint in the NHL with an NHL club, with the Washington Capitals, the Anaheim Ducks, and most recently, the Minnesota Wild. He has been let go by the Minnesota Wild this season. Has not been great for the Wild. They find themselves in a decent spot, actually, considering where most people had them in the beginning of the year, probably being a bottom feeder, bottom 10 in the NHL. The way that Western Conference is right now, they still find themselves in a position to still make the playoffs and still quite possibly even get into that third spot in the conference. Now that seems to be closing as the Dallas Stars have been playing pretty solid recently, so now you're kind of fighting for a wild card spot, and Bill Guerin is looking to make one last push with this team to see if they can make the playoffs. So they let go of coach Bruce Boudreau, and there are some pretty amazing stats here by Bruce Boudreau. So Bruce Boudreau has been coaching in the NHL for the past 12 seasons. So 12 seasons. He's actually been coaching more than that, more like 15. But I didn't include the years that he was let go by the team, because more than likely you get let go, your team's not having that great of a year, right? So the 12 seasons that he stayed till the end of the year with his team, 12 of those seasons, 10 times his team made the playoffs, and at least I believe in 8 of those, they made it past the first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. So Bruce Boudreau has a very good resume. Not only that, in 8 of those 12 seasons, he was first in his division at that point, whether it was with the Washington Capitals, the Anaheim Ducks. Wasn't able to do that too much with Minnesota, but still, 8 seasons of 12, he was first in his division. Now, unfortunately, that won't be the case this year for the Minnesota Wild. Right now, they are 37, 36, and 9 in the standings. 7th in the Central Division, so they won't be winning the division this year with Boudreau. Seems like his message kind of starts to get stale. And with coaches nowadays, the coaching game has definitely evolved. They want coaches that are, understanding of the players, not so pushy. And if you've seen any Bruce Boudreau interviews or, talking to the guys in the locker room, he is not that. He is very stern and, listen to what I tell you like a commander. And that doesn't really work in today's game anymore. Kind of commanding guys what to do. Guys really don't buy into that, and it doesn't really work. So his style of coaching is definitely starting to go, the way of the dinosaur, to say. And unfortunately for him, it costed him his job. He's done a pretty good job with the Minnesota Wild, considering the scenario and the situation this team is in. Bill Guerin's making one last move here before possibly making some pretty drastic moves at the deadline. So he's giving one last shot here over the next week and a half to see what the Wild do. If they can get back in, great. If not, I think the plan was to move on from Bruce Boudreau anyway. So we'll see what happens there. And you know what? Bill Guerin may want to bring in his guy in the offseason. And maybe if this assistant coach works, maybe that's the answer too. So we'll see what happens. What do you think of the Minnesota Wild letting go of head coach Bruce Boudreau? Leave that in the comment section down below. And that's it for this video. If you want to see more daily hockey content around the NHL, especially with the trade deadline coming up, what are you doing? How have you not subscribed yet? If you have not already, make sure to subscribe down below. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.